Did you know that Elvis Presley's funeral wasn't just a farewell, but a historic gathering that brought together some of the most unexpected and iconic figures? It was a day where the worlds of music, Hollywood, and even politics collided in a way no one could have imagined. Rare footage from that somber day reveals attendees whose presence will leave you speechless. Elvis's influence was so profound that his passing united legends from across the globe, some of whom you'd never expect to see in the same place. Stay tuned to uncover the shocking truth behind who came to honor the king. Graceland, the vibrant home that once echoed with the king's unmistakable charisma, transformed overnight into a solemn monument of mourning. The iconic musical note gates, usually a symbol of joy and rhythm, were draped in black, signaling a loss that extended far beyond the estate. The sprawling lawn, where laughter and camaraderie once reigned, became a sea of floral tributes sent from every corner of the globe, each bouquet a heartfelt testament to the impact Elvis had on his fans. The vivid colors of the flowers stood in sharp contrast to the heavy, somber air that enveloped the grounds. Inside Graceland, the silence was almost deafening. The same rooms that once hosted impromptu jam sessions and lively gatherings now bore the weight of grief. The energy that had defined the estate seemed replaced by the subdued whispers of condolences, a stark reminder of the void left behind. Beyond Graceland's gates, the world grieved in unison. Thousands of fans gathered, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of flickering candles, as Elvis's music played endlessly on radios clutched close to their hearts. It was as though the melodies he had gifted to the world were now offering a fragile connection to the man they had adored. Vigils were held across cities, with fans sharing stories, shedding tears, and finding solace in his songs. The grief was not just for the man, but for what he symbolized: hope, rebellion, and the power of music to unite. For many, Elvis wasn't just an artist. He was a part of their lives, a larger-than-life figure whose sudden absence was simply incomprehensible. The world paused, immersed in a collective sorrow that reflected the indelible mark he had left on generations. At the heart of the sorrow that engulfed Graceland stood Vernon Presley, a father whose grief was as profound as it was visible. The man who had been a constant presence in Elvis's life, from their humble beginnings in Tupelo to the dazzling heights of superstardom, now found himself in an unimaginable position, saying goodbye to his only son. Those who saw him that day could hardly miss the weight of his loss etched into every movement and word. His eyes, heavy with anguish, spoke of the heartbreak no parent should endure. Vernon, always a figure of quiet strength beside his son's meteoric rise, now carried the unbearable burden of laying him to rest. His pain transcended words, but in his visible heartbreak, the world saw the human cost of losing a child who had also been a cultural phenomenon. In the midst of the solemnity, Vernon's trembling voice delivered a poignant statement that would haunt those who heard it. "Daddy will be with you soon." The simplicity of those words carried a depth of despair and love that resonated deeply with everyone present. It was a raw, unfiltered expression of a father's longing to reunite with his son, a moment that left an indelible mark on all who witnessed it. Vernon's words not only encapsulated his personal sorrow, but also seemed to echo the collective grief of millions who had loved Elvis from afar. It was a sentiment that bridged the public and private pain, capturing the heartbreak of a family and the loss of an icon all at once. Even in the depths of his despair, Vernon understood the significance of his son's legacy. He assumed the role of guardian over Elvis's memory, ensuring that his life and career would be remembered for generations to come. Vernon's grief became a testament to the bond they had shared, a relationship that was as deeply personal as it was intertwined with the public eye. Behind every monumental success Elvis achieved, Vernon had been there, quietly supporting, guiding, and protecting. Now, in the wake of his son's passing, that responsibility took on a new weight. As he stood at the center of the world's gaze, Vernon symbolized not just a father's love, but the enduring connection between family and legacy, a bond unbroken even in the face of overwhelming loss. As the mourners gathered to pay their final respects, the guest list became a testament to the extraordinary reach of Elvis Presley's life and legacy. Among the sea of grief-stricken faces stood Anne Margaret, the vibrant co-star who had shared an undeniable chemistry with Elvis on screen. Arriving with her husband, her presence was a poignant reminder of the personal and professional bonds that Elvis had formed throughout his storied career. Not far behind, Caroline Kennedy, daughter of President John F. Kennedy, walked solemnly into the gathering, her attendance a powerful symbol of how Elvis transcended cultural and societal boundaries. Meanwhile, the iconic James Brown, known as the Godfather of Soul, was there to honor his fellow music pioneer, their mutual respect bridging the worlds of rock and soul in a way that underscored Elvis's far-reaching impact. Hollywood royalty also turned out to bid farewell. George Hamilton, known for his effortless charm, arrived with an uncharacteristically somber demeanor. Even John Wayne, the rugged symbol of Americana, paid his respects, his presence a stark contrast to Elvis's swiveling rock and roll persona, yet reflective of the King's universal appeal. Among the crowd were members of Elvis's tight-knit inner circle. Priscilla Presley, standing gracefully alongside her 9-year-old daughter Lisa Marie, whose small hand clutched her mother's tightly. The sight of Lisa Marie, grappling with the loss of her father at such a tender age, was a heartbreaking focal point for the day. Surrounded by family and friends who had shared in Elvis's triumphs and struggles, she embodied the deeply personal loss behind the public mourning. This gathering of icons, family, and close confidants painted a vivid picture of the connections Elvis had forged, a mosaic of relationships that spanned industries, eras, and borders. But among these familiar faces of close friends, family, and legendary icons, there were attendees whose presence left everyone stunned. Whispers rippled through the crowd as unfamiliar figures stepped into the solemn scene at Graceland, each appearance more surprising than the last. Who were they, and what had drawn them to this historic gathering? The intrigue only deepened as details began to emerge, painting a picture of connections that had been hidden in plain sight or entirely unknown. These unexpected guests defied expectations, their attendance a stark reminder of the profound and far-reaching influence that Elvis had during his life. For fans and press alike, their arrival turned an already monumental day into one filled with mystery and speculation. As the day unfolded, these surprise appearances shocked even the most devoted followers of Elvis's life and career. Figures from unlikely worlds, political elites, artistic innovators, and cultural icons seemed to converge at Graceland, drawn together by the gravity of the moment. The air buzzed with speculation and curiosity as these rare details emerged, leaving fans and the media grasping for connections. Why were these particular individuals there? What moments in Elvis's life had brought them into his orbit? Their attendance, shrouded in both reverence and enigma, hinted at stories yet untold, stories that would forever intertwine their legacies with the King's. These revelations added yet another layer of intrigue to a day already steeped in emotion and historic significance. The passing of Elvis Presley was more than just the loss of a legendary musician. It was a cultural event that reverberated across the globe. Elvis was more than a man with a golden voice. He was a symbol of hope, rebellion, and unity, a figure who transcended borders and brought people together through his music and charisma. His death left a void not only in the music world, but in the hearts of millions who had seen him as a beacon of inspiration. For a world that had danced to his rhythms and found solace in his songs, his absence felt like the closing of a chapter in modern history. Graceland, draped in sorrow and silence, became the epicenter of this collective mourning, drawing together a spectrum of individuals whose lives had been touched by Elvis's enduring legacy. Among those who gathered to bid farewell were individuals who had played a pivotal role in shaping and celebrating his journey. Their presence underscored the profound impact Elvis had, not just as an entertainer, but as a unifying force who bridged divides. From fellow musicians who had shared the stage with him, to Hollywood legends who had stood alongside him on screen, and even those whose connections to Elvis had remained largely hidden, their attendance spoke volumes. These mourners became part of his legacy, their shared grief serving as a living testament to the man whose music and spirit had brought joy to millions. Each figure who walked through the gates of Graceland carried a story of how Elvis had touched their lives, ensuring that his memory would continue to resonate long after the day of mourning had passed. As the world reflected on the magnitude of the loss, Vernon Presley's words carried a haunting significance. "Daddy will be with you soon." Spoken with raw emotion, these words not only revealed a father's unbearable grief, but also foreshadowed a truth that would come to pass. Vernon's devotion to his son had been unwavering, and in those final moments, he expressed a love and connection that could not be broken, even by death. His prophetic statement became a poignant reminder of the deep bond they shared, a bond that was mirrored in the connection Elvis had with the millions who loved him. As Vernon's words echoed in the hearts of those gathered, they became a symbol of the enduring legacy of Elvis Presley, a man whose life and influence would forever transcend the boundaries of time and loss. If you've been captivated by this story and want to dive deeper into the life and legacy of Elvis Presley, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss our latest videos. If you enjoyed this content, give it a thumbs up to let us know and share it with friends who love exploring the untold stories of legends like Elvis. We'd also love to hear your thoughts. Who do you think had the most surprising connection to the king? Drop your opinions in the comments section below, and let's keep the conversation going.